Great. Let's just get started. So I'll just start off with some basic questions because some people might not have heard of you or your campaign before. So could you
Oh,
tell us your name, degree year, campaign color, and slogan?
yeah. So basically, I'm Wang, and my Chinese name is Jiale Wang, and it's just my second year. And the pop said me that I am the third year student, but I'm not. It's just my second year to be the senior uni, and I'm doing finance and business analytics. My slogan is Wang is a way. Yeah. My color.
Yeah.
The color I'm gonna use is mint green, and if you need it, I can send the RPG decimal to you guys later.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
Who's your
mint green.
campaign
Yeah.
manager?
My campaign manager is Maria Ge, and also I can send some details to you guys later.
Great.
It's just her first year to be the senior uni, but she used to do some like volunteering activities in the CET, which is a Center for English Teaching. Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Ranuka?
Cool. So are you in a political party at all?
Yeah, actually, I'm in Panda now.
Oh, okay, you are. How long have you been in Panda for?
Actually, I've been Panda for like more than 3 semesters. 4 semesters actually.
Okay.
4 semester. Yeah.
So
Since the first time I went to the senior uni, I found Panda and I just like try to get involved.
Great.
Yeah.
So have you been involved in a lot of campaigns for Panda? Like, have you campaigned?
Yeah. Actually, I'm involved in the last campaign of the SSA election. And my team is Panda Ace. You guys can see it on the SSA in front of the SSA. There's a table and there's a Panda Ace there.
Have you campaigned for other USU elections in the past?
Yeah, of course. I used to be the volunteer of Benny's election.
Okay, Benny's from last year.
Yeah, maybe I forgot the time.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you running for USU board?
I think there are two main reasons. The first reason is that last year I found that Benny gonna like introduce something which is interesting to the campus. I thought, it's a really good platform to like do some things. And that's another thing is that I found that something, like something USU has done not so well. So I just want to make a change. And if you guys have time, I just want to like talk more about this, like what USU has done not too well.
Yeah, sure. We'll get into that a bit later when we talk about your specific policies. We're just going to run through some other general questions about USU first, if that's okay.
I think that's okay.
Yeah. So following on from that, what do you think makes you better placed than some of the other candidates running? Why should students vote for you specifically?
Well, actually, it should be my political experiences. Since I've gotten involved in student politics and student activities for like, as I told you guys, like for 4 semesters from the first semester when I was in the senior uni. And actually, I used to organize the campus tour. I used to organize the protest last year. I used to do like several volunteers. I just cannot remember the times. I used to do a lot of things, and I found that some activity is just like, it's not the thing that you organize it and it's gonna happen. You need to like consider a lot of things. So I think the experience should be one of the things that I consider that I'm kind of good at that. Yeah.
Could you give an example of, for example, one big event that you've organized or a protest?
Actually, last year we organized a protest, and I don't know how to show you guys the name, but I can show you guys the slogan. Say it loud, say it clear. Chinese students are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Muslim students are welcome here.
Okay,
you guys know this?
I think I remember that one. Yeah, outside the official library.
I can see you guys. Sorry.
Outside the official
in
library.
front of the official library, and I can show you guys the picture later.
Yeah.
And also, in 2019, actually early 2019, when I was the global solidarity officer, I used to organize a small campus tour. But at that time, I haven't like applying for. I applied for like few funds for that, and I spent, I remember, like $150 for organizing a small campus tour. But it's not that successful. Only like 36 people they get involved, and I just take them to go around the campus, and we just sit someplace, and we like, for example, we share some like snacks, we share some ideas, and I'm gonna like give them some like information and advice. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Fantastic. Which candidates do you think are your top two favorites? And which candidates do you think you're sort of least compatible with?
Well, actually, I think it's hard to say that which candidate I dislike. But if you have to like if you like me to choose one, I think okay. Firstly, for the best choice, I personally I like Amir. Do you guys know Amir?
Yes, we know.
Yeah, Amir Jabari. Yeah, another candidate. Actually, personally, I like him. We used to talk before during these days, and he's also an international student. He don't have much like political preferences, and yeah, I think he would be a really good choice to work with. We the valuation of things of me and her and him are the same, not the same, but alike. Yeah. And that's one. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So in terms of,
do you mind to talk more? Like I just want to talk more.
Yeah.
More thing.
Okay.
So
sure.
sorry for the interruption.
No, all good.
Kind of
You can keep going. You can keep going. Yeah.
And I just want to mention one thing is that since I told you guys I'm from Canada, right? So today we've got like I think we talked before like maybe this semester I'm not 100% sure, but we tend to like for the USU election we tend to not work with like other political factions, and we're gonna like, for example, we are more likely to work with independent candidates. Yeah.
Okay. Just in terms of that question about who you is your least favorite, I know that's a difficult question to answer, but how about someone who you think maybe your ideas maybe don't match very much? Who would be one person that you think is the most different from you, if that makes the question?
Well, to be honest, I just cannot answer that question, but I think that's my fault because I have not like totally understand them, and actually I haven't contacted each other. So I mean, if you don't know each other, why you say like you hate someone, right?
Okay,
it's kind of weird, and also I think every candidate actually I think they will have their own like advantages. They will like they just want to do something to make some change. So anyway, let's talk about this later. I just cannot answer this now.
Yeah, fair enough. Ranuka, do you want to start on some of the maybe more financial related questions?
Yeah, all good. So obviously the USU is in like a pretty tricky financial state at the moment due to COVID-19.
Yeah.
If you had to cut $1 million from the USU's budget, where would you cut it from?
Oh well, actually, this question like Pump has asked me before, and actually I prepared for this. I know someone will say like maybe they're gonna cut like math, which is make a difference. They're gonna cut the debating, but for me, I think I'll still keep my opinion. I don't want to cut any of them, and just want to like do more for the marketing and the main purpose. I mean, like this now we are considering that where's the money come from, and I know that like we are focusing on we are suffering from the kind of financial crisis. So we need to focus more on how to keep the cash flow, or rather than like how to cut the cash flow. For example, I think the main cash flow from USU, the main cash flow of USU is from like student, from their tuition fee, from their daily purchase, right? So I think I think we should focus more on how to keep the student around the campus, how to make them get involved, how to like make them engaged with us, not rather than like they feel like that, or maybe like during the coronavirus I don't want to go into the campus again, I just want to choose to defer or suspend. That's not what we want to say. So for answering this question, I personally think we don't need to cut each of them, and we need to focus more on how to collecting monies. And if you have like you like make me to choose one, like I'm gonna choose debating, because during this situation you just cannot make a real debating person to person. You can just make like around the Zoom, right? So I'm gonna cut a little bit for that. And for the math, I think it's not necessary actually. I still keep my opinion. I just want to collect more money from outside, not cut some money inside. of course, if you guys want to like cut my wage, if you guys want to cut my salaries, that's okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
USU does have like other sort of things they can cut from though. That's not like specific clubs and societies. They have other sort of like programs that they run and companies that they are like that they run.
So one example, for example, could be Incubate. Would you consider cutting money from Incubate?
Oh, actually, I'm kind of interested in Incubator. Especially, I think it's the place for like for the future entrepreneurs. I think that's a really good platform. So, I think I haven't considered to cut the funds from that because one, I'm kind of interested with that. I really interested in this kind of businesses, this kind of future programs, future projects, and yeah. So I haven't considered about that. But if I'm elected, I'll consider later. But now I just want to answer this question. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you not think it's important to sort of think about this stuff before you're elected, because people sort of need to understand what your position is in order to vote for you?
And obviously, it's a little bit difficult now. I appreciate your answer, but obviously, for example, like you said, trying to engage the students, it's obviously at this point more or less impossible. Yeah, it's more or less impossible to actually keep that cash flow going. So, apart from debating, would you say anything else you think is less than necessary?
No, I think every department is necessary here, and from the as you guys say like engaging students as during this situation is really hard. Like I think we can talk about like how we can engage more students later. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I do have my like basic plans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Just one more financial question then. So recently, a lot of staff were stood down from the USU as a result of the decrease in money coming in. Do you agree with that decision? Do you think it was necessary?
Well, of course, during this situation, it's necessary that the uni has to cut some expenses to maintain the uni. But I think they need to be like they need to have some like special services or some like special treatment later in the future when the situation is getting better. For example, if I was fired only because of the coronavirus, I may receive some like job opportunity priorities in the future for the like around the senior uni, something like that. I mean, it's necessary to cost some money, but in the future they should be treated better, or they should be like they should be paid back. Do you guys know what I mean? They should be paid back. Yeah.
Okay, just a couple more questions about this particular situation. So last year, we obviously saw quite a significant change to the way that access is funded, obviously with access becoming free when it used to be paid for. Do you think free access was a good thing, and do you think that it should still go forward, especially considering the USU?
Actually, the free, I think actually I think the free membership of access card is a really good thing. Just since the first year when I was in senior uni, it's free. So I just cannot imagine that what would happen if it's not free. And by making this decision, more and more students they tend to get involved in the USU activities in USU. They get to know more about USU, and of course the money kind of like the money from the membership would be like decreased a little bit, but I think this part of money can be like can be raised in the future, like when like more and more students try to get involved in the unis in the USU's like activities. So I think for this particular decision, the advantage is more than the disadvantages. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk now a little bit about the university's relationship with the USU. So given the current financial situation, let's say the USU continued to operate at a loss, would you support a university takeover of the union were it to arise?
Okay, honestly, I have not done too much research about this kind of thing, so I think it's not a responsible it's not responsible to answer this question because I just don't have I haven't done too much research, to be honest.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's hard to answer, to be
Well,
honest. I didn't do too much research with respect to this kind of things. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine. How about just more of a broader question then? Do you think it's one of the USU's jobs to take a stance on the things that the university does? So make statements. For example, recently we saw the USU come out.
Sorry. Could you please repeat it? Sorry, I was just coughing.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
All good. So do you think it's the USU's position to take a stance against things that the university does? So for example, recently we saw the USU take a position against the Ramsey Center. And that was a decision that was being considered by the university. For example, do you think the USU should come out against certain things like the way the university is treating students during COVID?
Yeah, of course. I think the USU's job, because the mission of USU is to give the best uni experience around Australia. So if the uni has done something the uni has done something which is not match this mission, we're gonna stay against them, of course. I heard the thing about the Ramsey building, but it's the thing that before I came to the uni, but I still heard that. So I think USU has done a really good job. I mean, USU is not a follower of the uni. USU should be the not the leader, but USU should be at least a diversified and a deep independent department.
So do you think
it's the heart of the uni life? Yeah.
Okay. Do you think the USU should take a stance against the university's use of Proctor U?
No, actually, because I don't know how to say. I think Proctor U. You mean the application that help people to help people do the exam, right?
Yeah, the exam.
The application. I think. I think it's a way to protect the academic honesty. So I don't think that's it's not it's a bad thing. So actually, I kind of support that. Because it's responsible to I think it's the uni's responsibility to maintain the academic honesty and the quality of the quality of the whole uni's teaching. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Ranuka?
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What is your opinion on how successful the current board has been? And specifically, what do you think Connor Werrett's presidency has been like? Do you have a specific opinion on has been good or bad? Have you liked particular policies?
Well, actually, that's another question I want to mention. Is about the transparency. It's hard to say that if he did good or bad, because the only way I can find from the USU website is from the report. But the report, I think, is too limited. It's limited, and there are lots of limits about the report. So, okay, here's the thing. I don't know too much about this, even if I tried so hard to search from the USU website. So I think that's the thing we need to change. And it's hard to give an answer to say if Connor's good or bad, because I just don't know him too much. I can only know him from the reports from some specific media. It's not objective at all.
Okay, that relates to one of your policy points actually, which is about transparency with reports and stuff being on the USU websites. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah.
Sorry. One of your policies is about increasing transparency within the USU, such as having more specific working reports on multiple platforms besides the USU website. Do you want to explain your policy a little bit?
Yeah, of course. Actually, this policy came from my personal experiences. Every year, we face some candidates who only state their policies but did nothing. It's true, right? It's true. So we need to stay against them. We need to make everyone to be more engaged in this activity. Since I think, in my opinion, as a board director, you need to take your responsibility. You got paid. So I just want to make more multiple online platforms to positively show what we have done to students. That's two advantages about this. The first thing is that by using, oh, sorry, so just give me 1 second. I've got a call from like Facebook. I just like mute it. I just mute it.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, sorry, just give me one minute. Oh my God. Okay. 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 Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The first advantage is that by using it this way, more and more students, they can know what USU has done. They are more likely to. They are more willing to get involved, and we will get more and more member of USU. And there's one more thing is that I just want to make it as a way to monitor the board directors, to monitor like candidates, to monitor papers. Like we need to positively post what we have done rather than just write a report and post it on the USU website. It's true that I think not too much people they are likely to like have a look at the report on the USU website. But how will we possibly sending them, or how do we post them to multiple platforms like with Facebook, WeChat? We do multiple languages to make everyone know what we have done, and do you want to join us? Like I think it's a really good process. And I also considered about the money situation, because like for every policy you need to consider one thing: where's the money come from? For getting this, for making this policies, I think it will not cost a lot, since it's just like to build some online platforms and to try to build a system to monitor, not monitor, but to try to control, or to try to let people get know more about the board directors, about the whole board, about the USU. Yeah.
All right. Just following on with that question, another little bit of a question before we dive more specifically into your policy. So, given that the USU presidential election is not coming up soon, but coming up in the future, who would get your vote out of the current board members if you were voting in a USU presidential election? Now we know that Benny and Nick are considering running. So who would you get? Who would you vote for, do you think?
Well, actually, it's also hard to answer. Actually, I'm friends with Benny. I'm friends with Nick, and we talk frequently. And I think I'm gonna talk with my teams and talk with my people, and we're gonna make a decision to We're gonna vote for the right person. As I told, as I used to I used to talk to many people, but I just want to do the right thing. I just want vote the right people. So I'm gonna get to know more about Benny and Nick, and then later we will make a decision together. I mean my team, and then we're gonna we'll have to vote responsibly. Yeah.
Okay.
So currently, okay. So okay. Can you guys see me?
Yep.
All good.
Oh, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, so currently I have not made any decision, and to be honest, I don't have too much time now to consider about the presidency, because I need to focus on my own campaign. Yeah, it's true. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally understandable. Shall we move on to policy now then? What would you say is your overall policy priority?
Should be transparency, and should be transparency in priority.
Okay. So your policy statement is quite short. Compared to a lot of the other candidates who have policy statements that are really long and in depth.
Well, yeah. Actually. Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right.
Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just wondering if you've thought more, a bit more deeply about your policies and why it is that you've got such a short statement.
Yeah. I think the main reason is that because of word limits. I mean, it's either a really short statement or a really long statement. It cannot be like in the middle. It would be a little bit complex. So what I'm going to do is that during the campaign, I'm gonna post a more specific policy statement in detail, which includes the basic plan about how I'm gonna do it. Because that's, you know, like every year people just say like what I'm going to do, but they didn't mention like how am I going to do. So I'm gonna like post this kind of thing. And if you guys want, like later, I can send it to you guys. But I haven't prepared it perfectly. I only finished like 70% something. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was
still
what I
need
was
some adjustment. Yeah.
Okay. Well, kind of building on top of what Ranuka has said, your policy statement, obviously you said you have a longer one in the works, which is fine, but some of these seem a little bit vague. So we were wondering if you could maybe talk us through how you intend to do some of these things. So for example, you said, protect the fairness among clubs and societies and special services for small clubs, fair is not equal to average. So what do you think is the problem currently with clubs and societies, and what are you actually going to do to improve them?
Yeah, actually this policy is based on my personal experiences. As I just write down from the nomination form, I'm from Chinese martial arts club, which is a really tiny club. And we don't have much more like sponsorship. We don't have too much membership. We cannot rent any place to do exercise. So we have to do exercise on the Victoria Park every Saturday and Sunday. And I mean, it's like it's also interesting, but I think we deserve better things, since compared with other big clubs and societies, you guys say like they have much more opportunities to get sponsorship, to get funds, to apply for fund, and they will sometimes they can co-work with USU, they can co-work with the whole uni. So I think that one of the mission of USU is to encouraging and keep the diversity around the uni. So I don't want that around the club and societies. I don't want that monopoly exists. So I think for some small clubs, they need some special protections. And that's one more reason about this, is that since different clubs and societies, they have different interesting, they have different meaning, or sometimes they have different like political preferences. It's true. So there must be some like minority groups exist, which means there are not too much person who are interested in, but there are still some person. So I think we need to protect them. We need to make them exist rather than like make them like disappear. I think that's not the mission of USU. So I just want to say a colorful USU, not simple, not just a USU with few like big club societies.
Okay.
I think it's true. Like, so sorry, just one more sentence. Sorry, just one more. I think like the gap is getting better and better. It's getting like bigger and bigger. Yeah. So we need to do some adjustment. We need to do something.
Okay. So what would you propose some steps of action that you would initiate as a board director that you could do to help this?
You mean like what would I do, right?
Yeah, what would you do?
Okay, yeah. Actually, it's really hard to like just give money directly to them. It's really hard, especially during this financial crisis situation. So I think we can like do more. For example, we can post more information about this small club and societies on the USU website, not just for some big club societies, and we can co-work with smaller club and societies, not just the big club societies as before. And I mean, like by using this way, these small groups can be like more popular, and more people gonna know them around the campus. And I think that with the help with this, they will like get more support in the future. And for the detail, like for the specific thing, what I'm going to do, I think is that I'm gonna like leave a space I'm gonna leave a space. It's a little bit like advertising space for on the USU website, club and societies, and it's just for small club and societies, and so club and society with like relatively big, with relatively like high quality and members. They don't have the right to use that small space, but only for like small club and societies. And for how to measure small and big, I think that's two ways, like the membership and the activity they organized before. So I think here's the two things that we can measure and we can recognize small club and societies. Yeah.
Okay. One of your other policy statements is about improving the efficiency of the management of the working process between clubs and societies and the USU. Do you have any specific ways that you're intending on doing this?
Actually not, because okay, so firstly, I try to search for how to, like, for example, apply for funds, for how to apply for fund, and something about these things. And the thing I can say is just like every president of the club society, they can say I didn't get more information. So what I'm going to do is that if I was elected, I'm gonna like do more research, or I'm gonna like know more about this internal. I'm gonna know more internal information about this. I mean, only based on the information from the outside, it's hard to make a decision to like how to simplify the process. So when I go inside, I'm gonna like find the complex things. I'm gonna like cut them down. Yeah.
So what are the difficulties from the outside then, in your opinion? From your opinion, from your perspective now, what is holding it back?
Actually, it depends on different situations. For example, the working days. If, for example, I'm gonna like organize the activity in 2 weeks, but it takes 3 weeks to get the money from the USU, for example. And so working days and the money application is like really hard, because yeah, I just don't know why like the rent of the sports center is like really high. So the money, the amount of money maybe is like a little bit, you know, it's just not enough, especially for small clubs. And so yeah, money, people, working hour.
Okay. Just one more question on maybe the vagueness of the policies once again. So I notice here that many of your policies have been brought up in the past by past candidates. In fact, they're very popular policies that a lot of the candidates that are running this year are also running.
Yeah.
So things like, improving campus services, improving things, generally making things better that already exist. But do you think you're bringing anything new or innovative to the table that other people aren't bringing?
Well, actually, the thing is that we don't need to bring things new. We need to do something right, or we need to do something, not just say something. That's why I said before that I'm gonna talk about not just what I'm going to do, and how am I going to do. So I know you're gonna like ask the question about the policy of like building the hot water stations, right?
Possibly, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So just based on this specific policies, I'm gonna tell like I've got kind of plans in detail. For example, where we can put these hardware stations. The answer is around the USU store, around the uni market, the market held by USU. And question number 2, where's the money come from? The answer is that it's not free for anyone. It's just free for USU. It's just free for USU membership, and for others who want to collect hot waters, they're gonna pay for like 10 cents, like small money. And for the real amount of money, or for the real price of this, I'm gonna like in the future, I'm gonna to review or ask more information about the cost of building the hot water station in the USU stores. and to decide the price of the hot water. And actually, I want to say that at least it can be like break even. So I don't want to like just give I don't want to like USU to make a loss. Since if I was elected, I represent student, I also represent a part of USU. I need to take responsibility to both of these parts. Yeah.
Okay. And just one
I
more
think
question on your promote the cultural diversity on the knowledge basis. So
yeah.
you've provided an example here of providing turkey during Thanksgiving, which is obviously, you know, an American holiday. It's also one that obviously not many people celebrate in Australia. But
Yeah.
why do you think, for example, providing turkey during Thanksgiving is a useful thing for the USU to be doing specifically?
No, actually, I didn't mention that serving turkey is necessary in Australia. Actually, what I want to mention is that uh, the thing like serving turkey is not enough. It's not appropriate because like for example, as me for me,
Okay.
I'm international. Yeah, for example, yeah, I think I can explain. I think I can explain it like more.
Yeah.
For me, I'm international student, so it's my first year. It's my first time to go to another country for education. So basically, I tried a lot of new things, and I celebrated more more like unique festivals here. But I think the thing made me interested in the Australian culture is the culture itself, not the things the culture generated. For example, Turkey. For example, the mooncake about with the Mid-Autumn Festival. I used to provide mooncakes around East Avenue last year. It's an activity hosted by SSA. Do you guys know that?
No, could you explain
Yeah.
that?
Well, it's just a simple small activity. We just like hand out mooncakes during the Mid-Autumn Festival, and there's one thing I found which is weird is that we just give mooncakes and the people take them. Okay, oh, it's delicious, good, but they still don't know too much about the culture behind this. So I think the main purpose I mean the I think for encouraging the diversity, we don't need to like give the specific things with respect to the specific festivals to students. We need to let people know the information to know the culture behind that festivals. I think it's costless and it's gonna like make the school more vivid, more diversified. Okay, so again, to answer this question, serving the turkey is not the best way to let people know Thanksgiving days, but tell the people why we celebrate Thanksgiving days and the culture behind them is the way to make Thanksgiving Day go into the campus. Yeah.
So how do you intend to do that? Like with posters or with people talking
Well,
about it? Yeah.
actually, that's it's kind of well, personally, it's kind of easy. It's kind of easy because we can do two things. First, also by using the multiple online platforms to post more information about that festivals. But I know everyone gonna say that. So the second thing is that we can, for example, during the Mid-Autumn Festivals, there are some like mooncake served around the USU store. But how about we just like, for example, we add one more tips like or one more paper about Mid-Autumn Festivals to the mooncakes, or we put them together. So when people purchase the mooncakes, when people have the mooncakes, they can easily see they can easily find the culture or find the information behind that. I think
Okay.
that's a good way. And sorry, do you mind I talk about this more? Do you mind?
Yeah. Just try to
Just
wrap up the answer.
one more minute. Yeah, and also like as I mentioned before, like I wanna like try to engage, try to like make more small club and society to get engaged. So maybe they can get involved in these activities. For example, during the Mid-Autumn Festivals, I can try to like invite some small groups about like for example like Chinese dancing groups Chinese dancing societies, which is also a tiny, not tiny, but which is also small, relatively small clubs. We can invite them to give a dance in the public on the East Avenue, and we serve the mooncakes. We also serve the information. We also give like the posters to students. I think that's a really good thing. Yeah.
Okay, Ranuka, have you got any further questions?
No, I think you've answered everything pretty well.
Yeah.
I think I might just have one more.
Oh, sorry.
So,
Could you just give me 1 second? Is something wrong with my my earphone? Just
yeah,
1 second. 1 second.
no worries.
I don't know what makes. Anyway. Yeah.
Cool. Is it all good now?
Yeah. Anyway, let's just.
Okay. Yeah. So I've just got one question left, basically, which is that, as a candidate representing Panda, which political ideas do you think you've inherited from old Panda, and what do you think you can improve about Panda?
Well, actually, as a new Panda, okay, I think I can responsible to what I'm going to say. So I did not inherit like basically anything from the old Panda, since from the old Panda, in the old Panda, it's at that specific time, it's just my first year. I'm just a volunteer there, so I know too little about the Panda. And also when I like grow up, when I get like more, like when I become the executive of Panda, I found like something is like really, it's I think it's a little bit like far from the truth. So I'm gonna make some change. So actually I'm that kind of person who are likely to make some changes. So I think some opinion of mine is really different from the old Panda. I'm gonna like make the Panda be more like engaged, be more like diversified.
Okay.
So if I so I don't think I inherited too much from the old Panda, and also the yeah.
If you were to be elected as a board director, though,
So sorry, just
yeah, all good. Take your time. Don't worry. We're just about to wrap up. So, if you were to be elected as a board director, though, do you think that politics plays a part in your role? Do you think that?
Well, actually, I'm gonna treat it like separately. I mean, of course, we're gonna keep the value, the valuation of things of myself, which is also like for the fight for the right of both domestic student and international student. Well, I'm gonna keep this valuation in mind. I'm gonna like do things with respect to this kind of opinion, this kind of mission, this kind of vision. But I'm not gonna like add too much political things to the USU, since USU, I think USU is more like doing like, it's more like uni life. It's not the place to do student politics. I think, as I say, it's enough. Yeah.
The USU has done political things in the past, though.
Yeah,
so
I know it. Yeah. So, but what I mean is that it's enough. I don't want to like add too much.
You don't want to add to it. Yeah.
Add more in the future. Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's enough.
Gotcha. Okay, well, thanks so much. That's all we had to ask. Did you want to add anything at the end from yourself, or?
Well, actually, I think that's it.
Okay. Well,
just my earphone is like really.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
And are you free this Friday for the quiz? Everything all good for that?
Sorry, could you? So I just forgot to check my